A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And they needed to be, because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and each play took on more importance, and they got it done.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
Yeah, we're definitely in top form and pitched a shutout, as a matter of fact. That's the cherry on top of a great week of preparation. And you know what? These guys are eager to keep it going. So motivation this week, not an issue.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. 21 yards there on third down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Handoff comes to Chubb. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. So this rivalry, Charles, here in the Buckeye State, Cincinnati and Cleveland, you know, you felt like for a while it took a dip as these two franchises struggled. But now I think this rivalry is budding again as one of the best under-the-radar rivalries in the NFL.
I agree with you absolutely, because both of these teams have the arrow pointing up. They've kind of solved their quarterback issues. They're building up their rosters. But one of the most defining moments of this rivalry to me wasn't even in a Browns-Bengals game. It was a Seahawks-Bengals game. But head coach Sam White addressed the crowd and emphasized that Cincinnati was the place to be.
Well, Charles, I think his exact words were, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. They go play action with McDonald. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Sam Hubbard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A little too amped up there, got to him before he had a chance to catch it.
Another example of players in tough spots getting the protection that they deserve. Got to make sure that he's able to catch the ball before you get to him.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Burrow now off the bootleg. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Here we go. Ready?
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. It's complete to Golden Tate. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down.
11 mighty.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow brought in here by Tyler Eifert. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Joe Burrow in year number 2, moving around pretty good considering the seriousness of his injury last year. If you're a defensive coordinator here, what are you trying to do to slow Joe Burrow down?
I think you want him to be in rhythm. I think you want him to be on time. And normally you want to take that away from a quarterback, make him hold it a little bit longer. But when he has a chance to maneuver around the pocket, sometimes get out of it, big plays result. I want him throwing the ball on time and then tackling the receivers so there's no extra yardage.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. John Johnson with the INT, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Here's McDonald off of the play fake. It's caught by Hooper. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. Here's McDonald to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Throwing is McDonald. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Play action. It's McDonald. Steps away. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Chubb will get the call, running left. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And this has no chance. It's no good. Well, wide to the left. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. 5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. McDonald sets to throw. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing. And they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Touchdown! Nick Chubb, touchdown number 15 on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. First down, here's Burrow. Complete to the right side, it's Eifert. They'll contain him to just 4, second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
11 Thomas.
Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked by the rookie Greg Newsome. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. McDonald. Flush to his right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow looking to pass. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
He's going to let one fly for Tate. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Golden Tate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. At their own 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And we're in the middle part of the season where each week starts to become a little more important, and especially this, Charles, being a division matchup.
Yeah, you haven't fired the starter's pistol or rang the bell lap like they do in track and field for the sprint to the finish, but you're starting to eye it, aren't you? You got to pile up those wins, put them in the left-hand column, not the L's in the right-hand column.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, all knotted up at 7. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 3rd down, McDonald. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35.
As a general manager, you're counting on your 1st and 2nd round draft picks to have a big-time impact on your team. But where you make your bones, rounds 3 through 7. If you can find a few diamonds in the rough there, develop them, then you've got something going, and we're seeing one right here.
Yeah, plays like that lead me to believe that they found a diamond in the rough. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Stopped short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Being chased out left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number one. On fourth down, McDonald. And that is caught. Touchdown. Oh, there is a marker on the field. The celebration may be short-lived. Let's see. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half for Burrow and company. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit, get in their grill, and then send them back out.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Here we go. Ready?
On the delay, it's Mixon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Burrow's throw going to be caught by Boyd. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. He got 29 yards that time. From the red zone now, here's Burrow first down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years at not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now they go play action now. Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. To Tyler Eifert. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And McPherson on for the extra point.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so, because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Now Donovan Peoples-Jones. And nowhere to go. He only makes it to the 5.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
On 1st and 10, McDonald steps away to his left. Open man here, Schwartz, complete. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Off the play fake. McDonald. He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he's out right at the 25. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, it's McDonald. And he whips that one incomplete there.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McDonald. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Eli Apple. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Peoples-Jones returning. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? A run for Nick Chubb, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Escaping, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Peoples-Jones returning. And he is going to be tackled at the 1-yard line. What a mess that was.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hill. And they will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Peoples-Jones returning. And he returns this to the 22.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be.
They've got his man complete, and they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Rolling to his right. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go play action with McDonald. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, but guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. To throw on second down. McDonald. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Anthony Schwartz. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns get a score closer. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
First and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Flush to his right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by John Johnson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Khalif Raymond now. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards. They're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Play action. It's Burrow. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Dodges him at the 50. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
Big 13.
Burrow now off the bootleg. And the catch good. It's Eifert.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow flushed out right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. McPherson's kick is good, and that will stretch the lead up to 13. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. It's a gain of 34. Throwing is McDonald. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Jesse Bates on the coverage.
2nd and 10. Here's McDonald to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. DJ Reader in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 17. Buying time to his left. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's taken down inside the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Sam Hubbard in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Play action. It's McDonald. He's going to look deep now for Landry. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. A gain of 37. The defense, they weren't. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Tracy Walker. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
But, Charles, we saw a comeback bid fall just a little short, but give them credit. They were able to hold on, withstand that comeback, and ultimately win it by the slim margin.
And bottom line, when it's all said and done, they don't ask you how much you won by. They just want to know, did you win? And that they did.
So for the Bengals, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year.